What type of man responds, "Nah, I ain't pulling up," when he learns that his child's mother is in the hospital, in labor, in agony, and maybe fighting for her life? Oh, you think I'm exaggerating? Think again. Because the man who helped produce that baby was out here sharing gym photos and acting like he was in a different place while Eric Mena was gasping for oxygen and gripping her stomach while nurses yelled, "We're losing her." Nothing was going on, and Mendeecees Harris, the same man who refused a 99, that's not just petty and callous. 9% of DNA tests found that hospital receipts were fraudulent, but they still believe that accountability is only a hip-hop and love reunion buzzword. But now that Eric is in the hospital, his life is in a precarious state, and Mendeecees has completely abandoned his own child's birth by refusing to show up, we must ask, was this just neglect or something more sinister, as the events that transpired in that hospital room will leave you stunned? Buckle up, boss, because we're going to reveal the most callous moment in reality TV history. Let's get started. Mendeecees notices that Harris, the beloved reformed man on reality TV, was deliberately ignoring every warning sign while Eric Mena was in a freezing hospital ward, crying through contractions and physically hooked up to equipment. One phone call pleading with him to come, and we're not talking about accidental missed calls. Rather, we're talking about block numbers, silence notifications, and one heartless message that read, "She'll be okay. I'm not being dragged into the only thing being dragged here, sir, is your reputation across all online timelines." This man based his entire redemption narrative on becoming a changed man and a family. More drama, guardian, and a charismatic husband. But when it came time to truly show up for his child's mother, he disappeared like a promo code after midnight. Let's go back a little because the drama didn't begin there. Hospital room, and this train disaster has been building for months. When Erica originally revealed she was pregnant, it wasn't a huge thing, right? Well, except that she didn't tag anyone in her cryptic remark. Sometimes, even when he doesn't have followers, the truth comes out. Mendeecees saw Harris, yep, the same Mendeecees who has been playing husband of the year to Yandy Smith, the same man who sobbed in therapy and began connecting the dots, timing locations, side eyes, and old films. Sessions on love and hip-hop discussing how he's improving himself. But it's obvious that the work wasn't done because the receipts kept coming in like they were Amazon Prime Day DNA tests, screenshots, and full body checks. What did Mendeecees say in response to the hotel pic of him shirtless in Erica's bed 3 weeks prior to the DNA findings being released? Did he accept responsibility and admit his error like a responsible adult? No, he stated, "I'm not signing anything. Therefore, I need my own results. So we're fabricating babies, DNA clinics, and screenshots to make it make sense." Mendeecees. And I quote, "Anybody can fake a paternity test. Seize, or better yet, don't." Because the truth was already known, and he was avoiding fatherhood as if it were a plot point in the script that he didn't agree with. Fast forward to the Erica filed court proceedings, but she wasn't only requesting child support. Oh, no, she wanted a judge to compel him to admit paternity and impose a gag order on him and his group for disseminating fake documents. When her lawyer produced the last set of receipts, Erica fainted in the middle of the trial courtroom terror. It was the most heartbreaking thing that had ever happened in that courtroom. Mendeecees arrived late, wearing sunglasses, and showed no emotion. Security was shouting, ambulances were racing to her side, and even the judge appeared shaken at that point. Erica was having contractions, even though she wasn't due for a few more weeks, but the emotional strain caused early labor. Sources within the courtroom claimed that Mendeecees simply sat down and said nothing, leaving Yang nowhere to be seen as she was stretched out of the building. Did he ask her if she was okay? Did he follow her out? Did he even blink? Within minutes of the internet going viral, hashtags began to trend, and Mendeecees, who was born into treachery, became enraged. However, what happened next sent the scandal into full-fledged hellfire mode because after Erica was admitted to the hospital, her team made 6 different attempts to get in touch with Mendeecees, according to reports. They texted, called, and even sent a message through his sister in the hopes that someone would inform him that she's in labor. "It's serious, the baby is coming, she asked for you." Mendeecees remarked, "Let her have her moment. I'm not playing into the sit-up, boss," according to an unnamed person close to his team. He responded by calling it a sit-up that's not just chilly, that's Arctic tundra energy, but it gets worse. The woman was physically in a hospital bed, having contractions 2 minutes apart, pleading for someone who had previously pledged to be there no matter what. Because Early Men's was seen on Instagram live making jokes with his homeboys about sneakers and studio time as Erica was crying in agony and the doctors were attempting to stabilize her vitals. While his child was trying to enter the world, a father was on live without any concern, drinking juice from a plastic cup. One fan wrote, "Bro, your baby is being delivered right now, and you're talking about Jordans." People dragged him left and right in the comment area, and when someone mentioned Erica's emergency, he quickly terminated the live stream. It's not a coincidence, but there was mayhem inside the hospital. According to reports, while in tears, Erica asked one of the nurses, "Is he really not coming?" He said he would. He said, "We do this together." The nurse she broke then took Erica's hand and stated, "You're stronger than you realize, boss, and your baby is fortunate to have you." Let that sink in. He opted to remain silent when a lady carried his child through turmoil, despite everyone's cries for him to appear. He was unable to reveal his face due to despair, and just when it appeared that he might show up, security cameras captured an unidentified male wearing a hoodie outside the maternity wing at around 3 in the morning. According to medical sources, Mendy saw me pacing with my hood pulled down and his face hidden. However, when they got close, he turned and left, making it impossible for him to even pass through the doors. That's when it becomes even more painful because of what occurs next, where Mendy's image eventually burns to the ground and Erica's life is in danger. When we left off, Erica was crying while in labor by herself in a hospital bed, apparently standing outside the building in a hoodie, pacing like a scared young kid before turning around and disappearing into the night and screaming through the kind of grief that only a mother can comprehend. Let that image haunt you. The mother is in pain. The room is packed with IV monitors flashing warnings, and the so-called father is leaving. According to sources, Erica's vitals started to soar about the time your child was just minutes away from entering the world. 3:45 doctors called for an emergency C-section because Erica's life was in danger and her pressure was skyrocketing and her pulse rate was unstable. Mendeecees assured his inner circle, "If something really goes wrong, they'll call me." I'm not attempting to assign guilt if he wasn't on the phone, in the waiting area, or even in the building. We are no longer discussing a trivial reality TV dispute. Rather, we are discussing life and death, and Erica was shaking in that chilly operating room. "She loses it if she loses it, boss," this man said, referring to a woman who was on the verge of death. Before the lights went out, a nurse murmured, "Just focus on breathing, mama. You're not alone. We've got you." However, the truth was that physicians had to put her under anesthesia because she was hyperventilating. Her support system was destroyed by betrayal, and the man who put her through all of this on social media was attempting to appear unconcerned. The baby was born at 4:16 a.m., leaving her alone while her family traveled. A nurse later stated that although Erica's recovery was miraculous, she didn't wake up immediately due to complications, including loss and respiratory problems. The physicians worked frantically for almost 20 terrifying minutes to stabilize her, seemed to be waiting to see her child, and when she opened her eyes, she asked, "Is he here?" The nurse had to shake her head, and that's when Erica broke down. In the meantime, Mendeecees was still crying as she cradled her baby child and whispered, "I brought you into this world alone, but I promise I'll never let you feel that emptiness again." Ghost, but the internet wasn't. Oh no, they were on fire. The hashtags were so persistent that people stopped talking about Eric Biter, who was born into a family of silent celebs, and one R&B icon wrote, "You can deny a woman, but there's strength in showing up." Yandy, who had been eerily silent for weeks, commented cryptically, saying, "Denying a newborn, not that's evil energy." Fans were shocked and showered her with support and conjecture in their comments. One of the most prominent ones said, "Sis, just say you're done, you don't know." Silence to a man who, when Erica shared her first Instagram story from the hospital bed, without any filters or glitz, just her holding her baby eyes and puffy voice raw to the person who didn't see it, it was the true bomb that exploded hours later. And blogs repeated it, fan sites converted it into clips, and even Love and Hip agreed. "She doesn't need you, and to those who have been praying for me, we made it. She's here, I'm still here, and we're stronger than ever." Hop employees reposted it with a heart emoji, but you know what really infuriated the public? It was a voicemail purportedly written by Mendeecees to one of his boys. "I knew she was going to pull some act in the hospital, that's why don't I go? I don't trust any cameras or sit-ups, and that baby is fine. No one is going to catch me falling on TV, boss." This dad actually skipped his own child's birth because he believed Erica may record it. Let's be honest. Evidently, this had nothing to do with safety or timing. Rather, it was about ego, control, and saving face rather than showing up for and the public. Once they were finished, people began tagging VH1 and requesting that Mendeecees be remove him from Love and Hip Hop. Ghosting your own child ain't entertaining was the subject of a fan petition that appeared on the show. It acquired 75,000 signatures in a day. However, it didn't stop there. An anonymous hospital employee disclosed an internal communication record that revealed Mendeecees was formally marked as alerted with no reaction, indicating that they verified he was informed about the situation, but deliberately chose not to. Then came the day's last twist. A security camera image from the hospital's parking lot was leaked, showing a man with his hood up and his face turned while he loitered outside the Nike wing, peering in through the glass before leaving everyone. Recognizing who it was, Erica reposted the photo to her account with simply a broken heart emoji as a description. Her subsequent post had a video of a baby on her bosom with the lullaby playing in the background and her voice saying that some infants had just entered the world. Love others understand what it's like to be abandoned, and the internet exploded with comments that said, "She didn't deserve this. This baby will grow up and see everything, even every transaction, and he won't even be a ghost." Mendeecees noticed that he was still silent on Instagram, deleting DMs and restricting stories, but the damage was done because this was no longer only about adultery. It was also about DNA testing, side women, and voicemails that were released. The impact from this one is just beginning, as Erica's legal team will make their move next, and it's more repulsive than anything Love and Hip Hop. It was about a newborn child and a man who chose denial above duty and boss. Aired by now, the world had witnessed everything: a mother struggling for her life, a healthy baby born amid commotion, and a father who wouldn't even enter the hospital. However, what transpired next wasn't just heartbreaking, it was also lawful, cruel, and career-ending because Erica's team wasn't finished by a long shot. Her lawyer, who had remained silent for months for DNA denial and media slander, came out less than 48 hours after she was discharged from the hospital. At a news conference outside the courts, Sweeney Dot made a cold, calculated statement. "My client almost died giving birth to a child whose father publicly discredited her privately. We are seeking full legal action because he intentionally neglected a medical issue and ghosted her." This is not about paternity anymore. Rather, it is about neglect, emotional distress, and defamation. And let me be clear, we have proof, Mick. While Eric was arrested calmly at home, recuperating from both childbirth and the incident, journalists were shocked, bloggers were live streaming the event, and fans went all out for digital militia justice for a hashtag #SueHimNow OuDoneCheckDank. Betrayal. Her legal team went to work, and that same day, a civil claim was filed, requesting not only official paternity acknowledgement and child support but also damages for psychological anguish to staying during pregnancy due to a leak that wasn't even the most outrageous aspect, since the action contained a subpoena request for all love and hip-hop production footage from the public character assassination boss and fabricated DNA documentation of deliberate desertion during a medical emergency. The previous 6 months because, according to Erica's attorney, Mendeecees confessed on tape that he wasn't prepared for another child and that he believed she was faking to gain attention, stating that regarding a woman who had to have an emergency C-section by herself, VH1 insiders verified the footage's existence, and producers were now rushing to determine what they could lawfully broadcast. One employee reportedly informed a source, this is career homicide, bigger than a reunion show. In the meantime, Mendeecees was in full panic mode, according to people close to his public relations team, and he attempted to issue a soothing statement that reads, with one source saying, "Too little, too late. This isn't about public opinion anymore. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just didn't feel safe with how everything was unfolding publicly. It's about the legal repercussions." Even worse, marketing relationships began to disappear, such as when a fitness sponsor withdrew all posts including his face, including a podcast, and a sneaker company, Fly, quietly discontinued their collaboration. "We don't align with men who abandon women during childbirth," the host stated after canceling a live on-air appearance that was set for next week. After that, there was the greatest internal betrayal of all. "I should have ghosted her the second she said she was late. Now I'm stuck with another the internet lost," according to a secret group conversation that was released by a source claiming to be one of Mendeecees' long-standing boys. Its thoughts. One remark read, "This man just revealed his whole strategy, and you still believe he's changed." Even Yandy's brother, who doesn't often speak in public, wrote, "A man's my sister watched in silence for years, but now we can all see what character he does when no one else is." Speaking of Yandy, she eventually spoke up, and there were no interviews there is only a black and white film with captions that shows her walking down a hallway by alone, taking off her wedding band, setting it on a table, and leaving. The voiceover says, "I protected someone who wouldn't protect me, never." Once more, the video received 1 million views in a matter of hours after Erica shared it with the words "Welcome to healing." Fans went crazy, and Team Erica and Yandy's comments were overflowing. Men like him don't deserve to remain silent any longer. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Erica left a final message and receipt from weeks before the kid was delivered. When he leaves at an end, his voice is exhausted and forlorn. "I don't know what to do," he says. "If this baby is truly mine, I'll come through, but if not, I ain't messing with this circus." 9% DNA test images, videos, voicemails, belly rubs, and receipts from every conceivable angle, boss. This man wasn't in denial. Rather, he was living in a state of profound delusion. Erica didn't even respond. She just shared a picture of her infant. The last straw was when VH1 revealed a special. The woman was wrapped in a lavender blanket, her eyes closed, and she was smiling softly with the caption, "She doesn't need to be claimed, she's already chosen by me." 3 interviews, 3 travels, no scripts, no filters, and a single mother Mendeecees seeing last-minute producers drop out are all included in the 2-part reunion episode titled "The Delivery Room Silence, Erica Yandy and the Fallout of Mendeecees' Refusal." Confirmed that he declined to appear in front of the cameras, alleging mental health issues. To put it another way, he was unable to face the world after lying, betraying, and ghosting people because the cameras were too loud and the receipts were too loud, so the boss was left behind. Unquestionably, a woman gave birth in a whirlwind of treachery. Another lady let go of the man she had previously stood up for, and a kid was born stronger than the man who denied her existence. This wasn't merely drama. It was a reality check, and Mendy realizes that he not only